Look, I could say I'm an NBA athlete. That doesn't make it true. You allow men to use the women's restroom over and over and over again. And you can argue insanely whether that's okay or not, but I have a question. In 2025, you had an issue where a man went into, or a woman went into the restroom, and 3 boys that were there were unhappy about it because they were being recorded. Initially, the boys got in trouble. The girl, who was pretending to be a boy, did not.
Fine asked the superintendent one question that he could not dodge here. Do you use the women's restroom? When he said no, Fine turned that answer right back on him.
Will you commit to investigate this permission slip where the parents had to sign something saying you're going to will engage in political advocacy? Will you commit to investigate this and hold them responsible since you represented to us it was not a politically slated event?
I will commit.
Great. Next thing I want to do, since again, you don't seem to know what happened on that day, here is one of the non-politically slated events. This is a student, one of your students, transported on a taxpayer-funded bus, equating the President of the United States with Hitler. The sign literally says, "The Trump fascist regime must go now." Would that qualify as not a politically slated event that this student went to during class time when he should have been learning? This is not a politically slated event?
It definitely is.
I'm not aware of that student and that poster being connected to the...
Okay, then let me ask you this. If you grant that what I'm saying is true, I understand you're going to plead ignorant, but if what I'm stating is true, would this be a politically slated event?
We do not support or condone...
That's not my question. Would this be a politically slated event?
Nothing more than plausible deniability.
You gave to the committee be incorrect. Maybe you didn't know. I'll grant that. But would you agree if what I'm saying is true, that the information that you gave to this committee was false?
If what you're saying is true and was reported, Chicago Public Schools would investigate.
Great. And will you commit to investigate this as well?
Guys.
I'm not familiar with that.
Will you commit to look into it?
If you could give me more details.
We will. All right, great. I'm going to take that as a yes. I want to move on to Loudoun County Public Schools.
Nothing's going to happen from that,
Dr. Spence, do you use the women's restroom?
Of course not.
Why not?
Because I would never use a woman's restroom. I'm a male.
Because you're a man. Wow, that's a great thing. So why do you think men should be able to use the restroom in Loudoun County Public Schools?
I don't.
Okay, but they do. They do, and we've got incident over and over. Look, I could say I'm an NBA athlete. That doesn't make it true. You allow men to use the women's restroom over and over and over again. And you can argue insanely whether that's okay or not, but I have a question. In 2025, you had an issue where a man went into, or a woman went into the restroom, and 3 boys that were there were unhappy about it because they were being recorded. Initially, the boys got in trouble. The girl, who was pretending to be a boy, did not. Why did the girl pretending to be a boy who filmed boys in their restroom, why was there no discipline for that student? Why did the people complaining about the girl coming into the boys' restroom get in trouble, but not the girl who was filming? Not even saying whether they should go in the bathroom or not, but they were filming. It's on film. Why did that student not get in trouble?
Sure. So, challenging for me to discuss the specifics of it, but if you'll allow, challenging for me to discuss the specifics of individual student discipline, as you would understand, but I'm going to say broadly 2 things. One, what you've stated is factually inaccurate.
Did the girl not film the students? That's wrong? There was no filming?
Which part
that's
of
not
it
what
wrong?
I'm saying.
No, I'm asking,
Okay.
was a student filming other students, and is that allowed in your school district?
Let me say this broadly, in general. Our policies do not permit filming in our
Okay, so
restroom.
when a student did it, why did that student not suffer any disciplinary conduct for doing that?
Again, factually inaccurate. What I would say is
So you're
our
saying that student was disciplined for filming those
Okay.
others?
What
I'm
was
not going to
discipline?
talk about specific.
Understood. I wouldn't talk about it either if I was you. Here's my other question. The 3 boys got in trouble initially. 2 of the boys were Christian. 1 of the boys was Muslim. Magically, the 3rd boy, the Muslim boy, charges dropped. The 2 Christian boys were persecuted. How did you justify that decision?
So I'd like to ask if I'm going to be
No,
allowed
you don't get to
just-
ask. I have 16 seconds left. I think the testimony that we've heard here from all of you
Factually
is a
inaccurate.
disgrace.
Factually
And
inaccurate.
what I take away from this hearing is thank God I live in Florida, where thanks to me and the Florida legislature, our parents and our students don't have to put up with the garbage that they do in your school districts. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back.
Oh, my God. Guys, I've been waiting for a couple of days to kind of get the superintendent's response to this here, and he seems to like legitimately keep giving the same answer. I cannot speak about these things. I cannot speak about these things, but yet there is nothing stopping him from being able to do it other than the fact that if he was to in fact do it, what happens here? He looks bad to the super Democrat parents that are in his school district, but apparently he has something to say, so let's jump into it.
I appreciate that, and I'll try to be brief. I just want to communicate clearly. We have very clear policies that would prevent filming students in our bathrooms. We have very clear policies that prevent things like bullying students, very clear policies that prevent assaults, very clear policies around discipline. What I would say is that when students violate those policies, discipline is applied appropriately. What I would also say is the opposite. We would not discipline students absent a violation of those policies.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, I ask unanimous consent to enter into the record a letter from the San Francisco Parents Coalition.
We're in San Francisco? I'm pretty sure we were all told that everyone is to be treated equally kind of by default, regardless of whatever community that they are in. Understand this here. The fact that he's also not trying to explain it kind of exactly what has happened is also moderately frustrating here, because who can we ask if we can't ask you? Right? Like the people are asking you blatantly. How is it so? The person who kind of violated the privacy of a locker room, okay, while people are getting changed here, while the people that were affected directly by this here were punished for not wanting that person recording in the bathroom. Guys, listen. You cannot have protected classes. I'm gonna scream this from the top of the roof here, bro. A protected class makes it so other people start hating that protected class even more, because what makes it so that they are in fact above the law? And pretty much based off of how the superintendent is even speaking, I mean, I think it's screaming pretty loudly the type of environment that he's in, because the overall sentiment, at least on the left currently, is if you are part of any type of like majority group, at least here, Christians are the majority here, you are then by default the evil in the group here. But if you are part of any type of like minority group, example being the woman that was recording in the locker room and one of the guys that just so happened to not be of the Christian faith here. And the big gotcha moment, obviously, is that if you listened closely to what he said here, he had to specifically specify the difference between man and male. Right? If you pay attention to the beginning, guys, run it back to the beginning so you can kind of hear his overall Freudian slip. Okay? You'll get it. Why would I use the men's bathroom? I'm a male. Don't do that, right? Because the male kind of by default means you have the body parts of this here. But if you are trying to side specifically with a group, you can't specifically say that that body part by default means you are a man, right? Like listen to how he kind of got caught up in that moment there, bro. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. But either way, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. I will go ahead and catch you guys in the next one here. And if you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. In the meantime, I'll catch you guys later.